guys, the Wild Ninja here, and we got some new information about our favorite Windmaster, Euphrasia. So let's discuss in today's video some interesting facts that we can now take into consideration when looking at Euphrasia's future in Ninjago. What we're taking a look at is the comment that Doc White answers yes to is, can wind elemental masters become one of their own element like the water elemental master? Apparently, this is a yes answer. Let's explore this in more detail, everything that we learned in Seabound and Crystallized, to analyze this. We have learned here, only two people have ever done this, Naiad and Nia. So it isn't that possible to obviously do that with another one of Rujura's elements. Obviously, we have seen at least majority of the ninja become one of their element at some point. We've seen the energy ninja, that's not one of their own elemental powers, but that is them being their full-on element, if anything. And same sort of the need form, but I think that's more stronger. When she became one of the water, that is realistically her part of the sea. That was just an energy version. But in all honesty, is this something that's possible for Euphrasia? Well, this is my opinion. From what we learned in Seabound, it does seem to be more of a thing that has ever been done by a water person. I agree with Doc Wyatt's answer that Euphrasia's power would have to be able to do the same thing as the water element. Rujura is both wind and water, which is the equivalent of the storm amulet. So it would totally make sense if by combining sort of these two powers, you'd be able to become one with the wind. However, I think the effects of the wind element might be either more impactful or less impactful, depending on how you look at it. With Nia's version, there's a whole endless sea. Literally, the sea goes on for miles. It is on Earth. Well, the wind can only pick up and evaporate in minutes because wind is obviously something that's obviously blowing, and it has to be a full-on storm to be something that you're going to need to merge with. So it'd be quite interesting of a concept to go for. Now, we want to speak a bit about water because when Nia merged with the sea, she was able to get a hold of her friends to help her. I don't think that would be the case if any Windmaster was to do that. But what is then the relevance of this? Well, I don't think there is a relevance. I think it's just a note to self. But there is a possibility if Rujura was ever formed again, the Water and Wind Masters could both unite together to stop Rujura, and maybe the effects like in Seabound aren't as permanent for the Wind Master than the Water Master. That's just a huge-ass theory. Being quite honest, I think Doc White answers this question with a yes, for one major reason being is people are really interested to know more about wind, and I think that is something that we're leading into in Season 4. There's obviously the huge idea that Euphrasia will be joining the ninja at some point in Season 4, but then what would totally be the relevance of this comment not spoiling anything? Like I said before, it's obviously just to get an idea on how strong the wind power is on a level of where the 6 main ninjas' elements are. Hers is slightly up there as well with them. It's great to take note of that because we've seen wind since possession. It's a great element that we saw throughout possession as well. We want to see wind take a full-on form, but I don't think Doc Wyatt wants to show off that. He might just want to personally let fans of the show know that's something that can possibly happen. Now, I do want to redirect some more interesting sort of things I do want to talk about Euphrasia about into this video, so let's quickly go through them. I do think Euphrasia will be training under a particular ninja, and I think that will be Cole in Season 4, but should be either Nia, well, mainly Nia in Season 4 or in the future. Reason being is their elements are really connected. If anything, Jay could teach her a thing or two about using wind with objects, no chunks of lightning. But still, it would be so great to see Euphrasia being trained under Nia. I still say again that the wind element is a really interesting power. It's got so much detail and story to it, but you gotta process in different lights. Obviously, I'd totally be in for it for maybe Moro training her, if Moro's still around. But again, I think it is great for Nia to take on this opportunity to train Euphrasia. It makes sense. She defeated the evil one, she trained as the good one. It would be a total 360. I would love to see this, and let me know what you guys would like to see in the comments. Also, finally wrap this up, another thing that I do want to mention is that the flow element is quite interesting in itself and might be the reason why Dog White also answers with yes. Maybe the elements in flow particularly are able to become one of their elements. That could also be another possibility. It might not have to just do with the amulets that Rogera are adhering to. It could also be the fun fact that the flow elements are equivalent to flowing. The elements that are part of the flow source dragon is water, flow, wind, smoke, and time. Elements that we've kind of seen merge. Water has merged with the sea. Form merges with different formats. Time has merged with time itself. All four of those powers, fast forward, reversal, etc., all coalesced inside. They all merged together with the time blades when they were going back in time. That's how time travel works. Then we have smoke. We haven't seen that obviously merge, but that could be another element that could possibly merge and change. And now wind. This is exactly what I feel is important when we're discussing that whole idea that those elements can merge together. And it's an interesting thing. Feel free in the comments to tell me your thoughts, and if my thoughts are totally wrong to you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you guys for watching today's video. Peace out, guys.